My husband and I always go somewhere on my birthday, whether it's a hike or a short trip somewhere. And this time around, we went to the Wairarapa region, wherein the main town is only an hour's drive from Wellington. We top up my car the night before, and that cost $66, and that was enough for this trip. I also booked an Airbnb, and that cost $251. We could have gotten a cheaper place had we booked it earlier, but this trip was last minute. But still, we're very happy with the Airbnb because it had everything that we needed, and it was spacious enough that I even sneak in a workout in the lounge area. On the first day, we stopped by a supermarket because we didn't want to go to a restaurant for all our meals. We bought microwavable meals, instant noodles, and some breakfast food, and that cost us $41. We still find ways to be frugal and save money even though we're going on a trip. We wanted to have a relaxed day that first day, so we didn't pack it with too many activities. Our first stop was New Zealand's version of the Stonehenge. It was very interesting how all the different stones aligned with the sunrise and sunset all year round. It was privately owned, so we paid a fee of $15 per person. After that, we went to a restaurant to have wine and a snack, and that cost $40.50. The Wairarapa region, by the way, is known for its wineries, so we couldn't go there and not drink lots of wine. The second day was the day that I planned all our activities. We drove about an hour from our Airbnb, and the drive was really enjoyable because of the beautiful coastline. The first stop is Cape Palliser Lighthouse. The lighthouse is the southernmost part of the North Island. It takes 250 steps to the top with expansive views of the Pacific Ocean, and it makes for great photos. Just a short drive from the lighthouse is the seal colony. Countless seals were there napping and swimming in a little cove, and they didn't even mind us being there. They would look up when they hear us approaching and just go back to what they were doing, which was sleeping. We spent a bit of time there just hanging out with the seals before we headed to our next destination, which was the Putaringua Pinnacles. This is actually where they filmed part of Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to insert a clip right here.
What kind of army would linger in such a place?
Long ago, the men of the mountain swore an oath, darkness of the mountain. And so Isildur cursed them, never to rest until they had fulfilled their pledge.
We set up a little picnic area on the grass to eat the lunch that we brought with us before we started the hike towards the pinnacles. The hike itself is around 30 to 45 minutes each way, depending on how many photos you take. And the pinnacles is one of the most amazing rock formations I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so glad we got to check it out. That day was the highlight of the trip, and we didn't even spend a lot of money that day, and it just goes to show that you don't need a lot of money to find happiness, because hikes and spending time with water puppies are mostly free. Later that evening, we decided that we were going to treat ourselves, so we went to a nice restaurant inside a hotel called the White Swan Country Hotel and spent $89 on dinner and wine. On our last day, we went to a vineyard to have lunch, and that was $50. We drove back to Wellington that same day, and since we didn't want to cook dinner that night, we stopped by our favorite Chinese restaurant and ordered takeaway, and that was $34.50. I did the math, and the total cost of the trip is $602 or $300 per person. If we wanted to save more money, we could have done that as a day trip because the main activities were only 2 hours drive from Wellington. However, I also think that we're past the point in our lives wherein we need to be extremely frugal because we've already achieved a lot of our financial goals. So it's nice to take the time to relax and enjoy a holiday and not worry about money.